Every so often, the Sports Hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised. Gossip, BS, lies, and rumors. This is the Sports Hangover.
I don't know what that means. No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It's not. It gets the people going.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside Gino.
Mike, it's good to see you. It's a beautiful time of year. It's baseball playoffs. I'm going to Atlanta this weekend to baseball playoffs, Cardinals, Braves.
It's officially fall in LA. It rained, and then the temperature just cooled out a little bit. It's so nice out here right now. I have the window and doors open as I record this podcast. Great time of year.
That's awesome. It is October 1st, and it is 92 degrees in Orlando.
And it's officially your favorite time of year, Jeremy. It is basketball season.
That's my favorite time?
That's your favorite time of year. You love basketball season.
I have a strict rule. We don't talk about basketball till Christmas, yet every October you bring up basketball.
You got to get really hyped for it. I am coming off of playing a lot of NBA 2K, so I'm in it right now. I'm playing it.
Oh.
I already know how Zion's going to be this year because I've been playing with him
Tell us,
on the
who
Pelicans.
are the teams? Who are the players?
Lakers might not be as good as you think. LA, not a fan of Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if you saw.
The Clippers?
Yeah.
But he's on the Clippers.
Yeah, no. LA. He's in LA.
He's in LA.
Yeah. They're not going to be a fan of him. If you see, did you see the Rams game over the weekend?
No,
Everybody booed him.
what
He was
happened?
there, and they booed him.
So are they Lakers fans that are booing him? That's what it is. Everyone's a Laker fan in LA.
It is a weird thing. So, like, when you go to, like, a basketball game or where – say you go to a Kings game where you don't have any side. You're just cheering on the Kings. Sometimes it's like USC night or UCLA night. You get a bigger roar for UCLA, and then you get a lot of boos for USC. So it's a separation in the city.
So it's not 50-50 at all. It's really cut and dry. People pick their favorites in LA.
Yeah, Clippers are, the stepbrother of LA. They're not really LA's
I
team.
thought they would start migrating to stepson. I thought they're on their way up on the family totem pole.
Oh, no. They're not there. No matter what, it doesn't really matter. LeBron is LeBron, and Kawhi's too quiet to be the leader. This is great that we're talking basketball in October. October 1st.
This is terrible. I don't know why you're making assessments based off of NBA 2K. That's another question. I have some
That's
breaking news, though.
I love my life. Oh, breaking news. Hold on. I got a little different setup.
The trigger finger. Imagine on CNN if Wolf Blitzer says, we have breaking news, and it's 10 seconds until the animation flashes.
Now, how about this? Imagine Wolf Blitzer has to hit his own goddamn button and make it go off. So then he'd be a little bit longer.
That
Wolf
would be
Blitzer
some rookie shit, Mike.
He'd have to put on his glasses and figure out what the hell's going on. That's what I have to do here. You see, I got my glasses on.
That's actually funny. Did you know in local news, the anchors, they run their own teleprompter with their foot? Did you know that?
Nuh-uh.
It's a foot pedal, and they
sure?
tap it faster to go faster, or they quit tapping it to slow it down. I promise. Local
This
news.
sounds like a myth.
Look it up. Okay, my
Sounds like a
breaking
myth.
news, just into the TSH newsroom. California Governor Mike signed CASB 206. We all know what that is. For the first time in history, California colleges and universities will have to pay athletes for the use of their name, likeness, or image. How long before other states follow? I mean, this could be big time. This could change everything.
So I had this on my headlines. Good thing we really sunk up today because a lot of prep before the show.
A lot.
I'm excited about this. 2023 Fair Play Act is going to go into effect. 2 other states, New York and Florida, are kind of figuring out if they're going to do it. I think the big issue is they're probably going to get kicked out of the NCAA. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but the NCAA cannot survive this if they do kick them out, or if these schools start leaving. I mean, there's some massive schools obviously in California and Florida, so they're going to be fine.
But is it still who's going to be fine? California or NCAA?
I think the colleges will be fine. The NCAA won't be fine if they start losing big states.
But do you think the NCAA is like this weird thing that's been holding down students? That's why they haven't been paid.
Yes, they've been the ones making the money. The NCAA.
Tons and tons of money. So then it's like weird things. Like there's different things that apply. So, like, you can't get endorsed by Under Armour if your school is sponsored by Nike. Little things like that.
There are some rules, but you can go out on your own and get paid whatever deals you want, basically, is what it is, right? So there's agents involved. There's going to be all kinds of handshakes with cash in them. There's going to be crazy shit going on. I think it's great because this system allows for all of the important athletes, the ones who are generating revenue, to go out and make their own deals. And the men's volleyball team, sorry, backup center, you don't make money for your school, you're not going to get any endorsement deals.
Backup center might make some money from a little podcast called The Sports Hangover. Might get a lot of sponsorship deals across California.
You think we should start doing some of these deals here is what you're saying?
Yeah, work them now. Get these high schoolers, start working them, be like, hey, have you heard the podcast?
Go out to the golf team. Hey, will you put our logo on your golf bag?
Yeah, I love it. It's going to be weird because I think recruiting-wise, I think they're looking towards this thing of being like unfair advantage, right? Like you get recruited to a California team, or you become, if you're number one to get recruited, you're going to choose California because guess what? You get to maybe make an additional $1 million or $2 million before you even go pro, if you even go pro.
That's actually an awesome point, and that's concerning for the schools that aren't adopting, so then they will be forced to adopt the same rules, and the NCAA will fall apart, and then Trevor Lawrence will go to the NFL.
I just can't wait until 2023 when we sponsor every backup quarterback on every school's team.
Are you the fourth string? You must support the Sports Hangover.
Like $50 a year. We just a little logo. Just wear it on your T-shirt, or maybe just wear your T-shirt out on game day or something.
Put it on your backpack or around campus. I like it.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm so in on it. I really like it. I wish it was a little sooner than 2023. But I guess they got to figure all the real details out now.
It's going to give a lot of people time to make some money and just wait to pay these players. Accounts will be overflowing waiting for these players in 2023.
So much. I got a BDE real quick, just a fast one.
Oh. Big Dick Energy, winner of the week.
I think I did Big Dick Energy last week. I think I threw out Gardner Minshew. I'm going to do it again. Gardner Minshew, he's the BDE of the week because currently sitting today, he has more fantasy points than your boy Aaron Rodgers.
No.
That is the only stat I needed to throw out there to let you know. Aaron Rodgers is a fake. He's not really that good. He's a fraud.
A fraud.
Just like Dak. Just like Dak is a fraud.
Weird year for you to call Dak a fraud, by the way.
Dak is a goddamn fraud.
He's been bad for 2 years. He's finally playing well. How is he a fraud now?
He's a fraud. These guys, Cowboys barely going to make it to the playoffs. You know who's going to make it this year? The Bucks.
I feel like they're going to win their division easily. Anyway,
they're definitely going to win the division.
Props to you for the Gardner Minshew stat. You blindsided me. I don't have anything to back up the Aaron Rodgers deal, except he's 3-1 and the Jags aren't. So maybe that means something.
Jags are coming along. They're 2-2. Or I think 2-2 or one.
I hope they're 2-2. I hope they're 2-2. I think they're 2-2, and they should have beat the Texans in that game. That Fournette didn't get in at the goal line. They should have been 3-1. Did you see Gardner and Peyton Manning meeting, like two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, shaking hands? It was a wonderful sight. He is so good. He led them back time after time. The Jags defense didn't play well. They're going through all this Jalen Ramsey nonsense. There's no way they win that game without Minshew making the plays he did.
It's a crazy year for gambling, crazy year for backup quarterbacks. I didn't know Matt Barkley was still in the league.
And he actually made some decent throws. Like, the Patriots didn't just take over when that game changed, right? I mean,
I hope he was like semi-competent to like continue. I don't know where he's been hiding for the last like 10 years.
I didn't know he was there either. But the good news is, so I've been watching a little bit of college football on Saturdays because UCF is somewhat in the mix of being good. Right?
Yeah. They got to win again.
They lost, but they got another win. So I've been watching some college football. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in college football, starting at UCF and going across the country. I think the quarterback position short-term in the NFL is going to be okay. When you look at Jalen Hurts and Tua and Herbert and all these guys that are going to be first, second-round picks, Jake Fromm, the kid at Washington's really good. There's a lot of good quarterbacks out there, so all the Matt Barkleys are going to disappear in the next little bit, and they're going to be replaced by these college kids. So I'm okay with the college the quarterbacks in the NFL for now. It's 10 years down the road when they're all going to disappear.
We'll see. I mean, I guess it's been weird like the last 3 years, right? Like we haven't had anybody come out and be. I mean, I guess there are super like big guys that are coming out, but it takes a while for them to get the respect. Unlike Gardner Minshew, I feel like he's really earned our respect very, very quickly.
Instantly. I mean, we named last week's show after him.
I know we really did. Do you want to do J-Dog?
Yeah.
J-Dog takes on.
Mike, every week on the show, you go through your NFL game picks, and I give you my thoughts on them. How was your week last week?
It wasn't the greatest, but I will say the picks that I made on the show were the right side of the game, and our mutual friend swayed my decision, and I picked all the other sides of the game.
So you're blaming someone else. Now, you gave out good picks on the show last week. I fought you a little bit on one of the games, Rams-Bucks. I didn't think the Rams could lose that game. Clearly, you thought they could, and in fact, they did. I am taking on the haters who think I know everything. Guess what? I don't. To all you listening in the United States, Canada, wherever you're at, I don't know everything, and neither do you, Mike. Betting is hard. It's an educated guess, and it doesn't always work out. No one saw Jameis going in. He threw a pick six, and they still won the game. What were the odds on that shit happening? No one knows. I'm just here with stats and my eye test telling you what I think of things, and I'm going to keep that going. But when I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. I don't need you haters, the listeners, to tell me when I'm wrong.
Listen, somebody thought your decision making last week was very, very wrong.
Mine was because I had the Bucks losing in my survivor pool, and I've been eliminated in week 4 of my survivor.
That must have been a miserable game to watch.
It's you being right and losing my survivor all at once.
What a rough weekend for you! But wow, thanks for calling them out. That was our Canadian friend that you really got pissed off about.
Canadian friend getting married in Mexico. There's a fucking math equation for you.
Do we want to go into the picks right now, or do you want to do a little...
I want to mention one thing. You can get in the picks in a second. I do want to mention, if I'm going to be called out when I'm wrong, I want to be called out when I'm right. And I told you last week that the Rams would regret paying Jared Goff. And that was a fucking home run because he was awful in that game. He had to throw like 60 passes and they still lost. I know their defense didn't show up. Neither did Goff, and that's going to be a problem long term for the Rams.
I have some Scandal City, but I don't even know if it's worth talking about. Do you want to talk about it?
Did you see Jared Goff in West Hollywood?
I did not see Jared Goff in West Hollywood. Was he out here this weekend?
No, I thought that was your scandal you were going to share.
Oh no, that'd be great. I don't think he goes out. I don't know if he knows how to drive a car or figure out how to get out of the house. He's not the brightest guy.
True, he's really dumb.
Well, Scandal City was going to be Antonio Brown trying to go after all his money, or do you want to talk about Vontaze Burfict getting kicked out of the league? Does it even matter? Is there anything to say?
I think you can't headhunt, and that's clearly what he's doing. So good riddance to that loser.
But But he's had a lot of different things against him, right? Like this isn't the first time he did it 20 times, whatever, how many times he's ever done it, but. It's out.
Always like on-field violence, so he's different where it's not like drug suspensions typically or off-field abuse. I feel like it's always on-field dirty hits, and I guess he's been reprimanded so many times they just booted him.
Do you think this is a better way than financially punishing them? Because this is like, hey, guess what? You fuck up, you're out for good, and I think that's a bigger threat than actually just $50,000 to them.
Sure, but I think it's both, right? He doesn't get paid his game checks either, so it's a double whammy. When you're suspended, you don't get paid.
Is he eligible to come back next year, or is it kind of like?
Yes, and some people are thinking maybe he shouldn't be allowed to come back.
Ooh, so it's like, well, the XFL's starting. It'd be a good time for him to jump ship.
He'd be a good face for the XFL, dirty player.
Definitely a good face. All right, let's do best bets.
Did you just blow by Antonio Brown? We're not doing that?
Yeah, I don't even care about Antonio Brown. He's trying to get $61 million back from the Patriots, from the Raiders, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's taking college classes. He's looking for help on his English assignment.
Yeah, he's not doing so great. Okay. I have takeaways I wrote down. Cowboys offense not as good as it is. That's
that was
a
some
takeaway.
Weird game Sunday night. I don't know what to make of that because Bridgewater didn't look good either, and I'm not sold on the Saints. But now they've won the 2 games he started.
I think he's decent enough and a better coach, right? I was saying it came down to the coaches last week, but clearly I was wrong. But maybe in that one, he was right. I mean, I don't know.
What do you mean?
Know what
Sean
it is.
Payton beat Garrett. Why would he say
No,
wrong?
Sean Payton won, but I'm saying Sean McVay should have beat the Bucs.
Well, Bruce Arians is not the worst coach.
He's not the worst, but I just figured he could.
I didn't know the Bucs had a better quarterback than the Rams, but apparently they do.
In a weird way. It's a weird way. Last week was the weirdest. I was so depressed watching the games.
There's always these correction weeks, and you never know when they're going to happen, and you're humming along, your picks are doing great, fantasy's looking good, Survivor's in check, easy stuff, and all of a sudden the week comes up and hits you in the face like Vontaze Burfict hits you in the face, and that's what happened to us in week 4.
Atlanta Falcons. The offense is really bad. I think Matty Ice might be over.
The Falcons are broken. I agree they're done. I think the whole system's done. They paid Julio at a bad time because they're about to rebuild, but they paid him. I'm out on the Falcons, and I've been out for a few weeks.
The Rams, are they just kind of a fraud this year and people have figured them out? Is this kind of the end of their reign of being like the smartest coach and quarterback duo? Is this over?
Every time you say Sean McVay is a smart coach, Belichick rolls his eyes. Because in the Super Bowl, Belichick beat that offense bad. Well, they scored 3 points. He developed these zone concepts that really shut down all levels of the Rams' passing attack, and it made play action irrelevant. And it seems like NFL teams caught on to this, and they're running the same defense against the Rams, making play action irrelevant, dropping back in zones at all 3 levels, getting rid of all those crossing routes, and maybe
look at you.
Maybe they're
really
broken.
Studied up this week.
I did.
Really studied up.
Maybe the Rams' offense is broken. I trust
McVay
to fix it, but it might not be an in-season fix, and you can't really fix your quarterback who you just gave 4 years to.
Washington's quarterbacks worse than the Dolphins' quarterbacks?
Okay. Again, for 2 weeks in a row, I'm worried the Dolphins have competition for the number 1 overall pick. They're tanking. They're doing their best, and it might not be enough because the Redskins and the Bengals, by the way, are sitting there. 2 terrible teams. What did the Bengals do on Monday Night Football? Andy Dalton's been there like 8 years. He should know how to complete a pass, and it looked like he didn't know how.
It was really bad. But you know what I was thinking when I was watching the game? And he kept throwing the balls. He kept just like lofting them up. I realized A.J. Green counted for 90% of the offense. He is the offense. Yeah. With A.J. Green out there, it's a totally different story. Oh, yeah, I can just throw the ball up and some guy will catch it. A lot of drop passes. Andy Dalton was getting the ball out, but it wasn't going anywhere because no one was catching the ball.
But what does that say for Andy Dalton, right? It's like you only succeed on the podcast when I'm here. When I'm not here, you have terrible podcasts. So no one's accusing you of that. Definitely no one is saying that. But if it was, that's not saying much for you, and therefore it's not saying much for Andy Dalton.
It's bad.
I mean, Tyler Boyd is an NFL receiver. Throw the man the ball.
He's also on my fantasy team, which scored a measly 56 points last week. So I'm really rolling along.
So I was checking the standings as one does on Tuesday morning. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Mike in last place, right where he belongs.
It's a hot sale right now. So if you want Kelsey, if you want anybody on my team, fire sale. They're going quick.
What's your fantasy hack segment when you start doing side bets with people and I give you 10% of my winnings when you give me a running back?
Yeah. Don't worry. If you see some trades soon, that's what's happening, okay?
Yeah, let me get in on
I'm getting a little kickback. All right, I'm going to do best bets. So this was what I wrote down yesterday. These are definitely going to change. I'm going to do a lot more research. We'll start with the one that I wrote down today. I'm going to take Baltimore in Pittsburgh, Baltimore -3.5 against the Steelers. I think what we saw yesterday was a really bad team against the team that's still trying a little bit. That's the Steelers. And I don't think that quarterback, I forgot his name. Who's the quarterback for the Steelers right now? That young kid?
Mason
he looks like he's 12.
Rudolph.
Very young. It was kind of weird and sad when the whole everybody was cheering for him when he threw a ball down the field. I don't know how long this can last. I feel like Baltimore can do something, and I'm just going to take Baltimore on the road. I think they're good. Divisional game.
Clearly, after what occurred last week, I need to temper my rage towards your picks. So even if you
can rage it up.
I do actually honestly agree with this one. I think the Steelers were trying to save their season at home under the lights. That's easy to do. It's a lot harder to go to Baltimore to do it, right? It's at Baltimore?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's not at night. That much I know. So that won't help the Steelers as much. The Ravens, that was a weird game too with the Browns. I think the Ravens are still good. They just got caught up in something there. So I'll take the Ravens.
What game is in London this week? Is there a game in London? Because I was trying to figure it out when I was going through the lines, but it didn't say.
Is there no 9:30 Eastern game? Is it in the 1 o'clock window, which really confuses us?
I don't know. I got to look at that's for 2018. This
is good radio.
I have no idea this is terrible. Okay, you look it up. I'm going to try to look it up too. Rams at Seattle this Thursday night. It was a pick-em when it opened. It is now Seattle -1.5. Seattle's at home. They disappointed 2 weeks ago at home. This is a Thursday divisional game. You have more prep when you're at home. I'm taking Seattle here. The Rams are a fraud. The Seahawks may also be a fraud, but I'm still going to take them because they're at home. And that stadium is something you can't do. It is so loud in there. And Rams, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do in that loud noise, and I don't know if Goff can hear anything coming in that microphone, so I'm going to take Seattle at home.
That's a tough game. You know, the Rams could have been looking ahead to Seattle in the short week, and that's why they lost to Tampa. Seattle 2 weeks ago lost at home to Teddy Bridgewater. If you're going to lose to them, you're going to lose to the Rams too. Who beat Teddy Bridgewater. I'm just drawing a lot of lines, and it's all winding up in a big circle here. I'll say the Rams rebound at risk of my friend Matt criticizing this next week.
Okay. So do you think the Rams are a better team? Because this is what they're saying. They're saying the Rams are a better team. Because on a neutral field, the Seahawks should be not neutral, but it should just be like an even game. So the Seahawks they're barely favored, but they're still saying the Rams, if they were in LA, they would be favored by like 5 points.
So, yeah, I do think they're the better team, and we can't chalk it up to one bad performance. The Seahawks haven't looked real good all year.
No, they haven't looked good at all. I'm still going to go with Seattle. I think it's a good pick. A Thursday night game. I feel like the prep time's not there, and I don't know how much like Gurley's barely playing. I'm going to go with them. It's tough. Okay. Bears at Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders at +5. Mitch Trubisky is not
That's got to be the Oakland game, right? I think it is. You nailed it.
That's in London?
That's the London game. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'm taking the Raiders.
Are playing in Oakland, but actually in London, which is 8-hour time difference away, and that's a home game for them. That sucks.
But I don't think the Bears have great defense, but I'm just going with the Raiders, just kind of like old school. They kind of like showed up over the weekend. I was really surprised.
They beat the Colts, right?
Yeah, they beat the Colts. It was
surprising.
A good game.
That was surprising. I'll take the Bears just because they looked better without our boy Trubisky in there, right?
They kind of did.
We all saw that coming, too. Sometimes our predictions are right.
Well, when I saw him get hurt, I'm like, oh, Bears fans must be so excited
stoked,
right now.
But then they found out it wasn't season ending and they got pissed.
No. Yeah, like no surgery, nothing
But
like
hey,
that.
We never root for injuries on the sports.
No, not here. Bucks +4.5 in New Orleans, playing the Saints and Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater has been disguising his terribleness for the last 2 weeks. I think it's going to show up here. The Bucks seem to score a lot of points, and all the teams that the Saints have played so far have not scored more than like 15 points, right?
Their defense looks good.
It looks good, but is it good because they play two teams that can't move the ball?
The Rams and Seahawks and Cowboys?
Cowboys definitely can't move the ball.
That's not correct.
They've
been shredding the NFL for 3 weeks, and then
they're not good. It's all a fraud. Dak is a fraud.
I'm writing this down. Okay.
Write it down. Dak is a fraud.
Dak Hall of Famer. Okay.
Yep. He's definitely not Hall of Famer.
He might be.
What do you think?
What you're doing with these picks is looking at what happened in week 4 and judging your picks off them. I'm going to say week 4 was just a scary week. It doesn't matter what happened there. The results of the first 3 weeks will prevail, and so I will not take the Bucks in this game.
So you think even though the Saints are down to their backup quarterback and they played Seattle 2 weeks ago, you still think they're an overall better team right now? Like, I think the Bucks, I don't think the lines are going to adjust that much because it's still the Bucks. So I'm taking the advantage here and trying to get the extra points. So say the Saints still win this game by 3, but I'm just taking the fact that Vegas hasn't corrected yet. Like, I'm jumping in before the public gets behind Bucks because they're like, oh, that was just a fluke. Like, they're probably just waving it off.
I don't think the Bucks are good despite this Rams thing. I think any one of 27 NFL teams could have gone to L.A. to beat the Rams on that day the way the Rams played. So I'm not giving the Bucks credit. I'm minimizing the Rams' performance on that one.
Who are the Rams playing this week, or are they on a bye?
We already did that game, the Seahawks.
Oh, they already did. Yeah, sorry.
And I picked the Rams.
Seahawks definitely winning that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Browns +4 at the 49ers.
Is that Monday Night Football? Wow.
It is Monday Night Football.
Hey, ESPN got a good one. In week 5, they got their first good matchup.
What do you think about this game?
The quarterback matchup is fun. Garoppolo and Mayfield.
Yep.
The coaching matchup favors San Francisco. So if you're going with your good coaches, you go to the home team on Monday Night Football. We saw it with Pittsburgh. We see it at night. It's a game changer. We're taking the 49ers.
I like the idea behind the 49ers. They had a bye last week, right?
Coming off a bye? Oh, yeah.
Coming off a bye. I don't know. I don't know if like the Browns are just getting it now or if they're just not. It's a tough game. This might be. I did put 6 games in here because I might just drop one. This might be the one that I drop.
Yeah.
Don't love it, but I feel like playing the Browns here, getting the points. I'm really trying to take all the points the last few days. Next game, Colts plus 11 at the Chiefs.
Oh, boy.
If T.Y. plays, I'm going to take the Colts at plus 11.
Yeah, I don't hate it with the line. That's a massive line. I thought it might be 8 or so. 11. I know they lost to Oakland. I think they were looking ahead to the Chiefs. Yeah, I think they were looking ahead to the Chiefs in that game, and they took Oakland for granted, which you can't do. It's going to be hard to win at Arrowhead. I definitely wouldn't expect them to win, but to stay around 8, Mahomes had 0 passing touchdowns last week for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I don't know if people are figuring it out. I don't know if the Colts can figure it out, but if the Colts can get T.Y. back, I think it's a good play. But I don't know otherwise because I don't know if any of the receivers are actually that good other than T.Y.
I agree with you.
You got anything else, or you want to do food news?
Can we do bullshit or believe?
Of course. Bullshit or believe time. See how quick that was? Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe.
Mike, this one hits a little close to home, and it's not something we talk about a lot, but it's something we should talk about often.
Oh, no. The DDP?
No, that's off the air. We're talking about that. We'll resume that after the show. I'll come on Validate Me and explain that.
Okay, yeah.
So we're sending a satellite to outer space.
Oh.
And we're sending it to Mars. We are. The Sports Hangover.
TSH.
Yeah,
okay.
maybe America. NASA is sending a satellite and sending something to Mars to do a little more investigating. The lead man, the lead scientist, Jim Green, who is leading this mission, he says it will be revolutionary. It will start a whole new line of thinking. I don't think we're prepared for the results. We're not ready for life on Mars. Jim Green is all over this, and he's ahead of the curve. They won't be there until February of 2021. So we have a little bit of time to get ready. But I just want to alert you and all of our listeners, there is life out there. We're going to officially discover it in 2021, and Jim Green says everything's going to change.
So I don't know what's going to – because we're probably going to find like some organism that's just like creepy crawly, something like that or whatever.
But that could lead to everything, Mike.
You think that could lead to us becoming like half robots?
It could lead to where did they go? How did we get here from Mars?
That's true.
That's true. We have a lot of questions. We don't have many answers.
Lots and lots of questions. I actually started reading 7 brief lessons in physics and like quantum physics.
What the?
Why
are you reading that?
It's like a really little book. It's just like a quick like here's what quantum physics is. It makes you think. We're absolutely nothing. Just like the physics thing and quantum physics.
To know more.
And all.
Tell us about the 7 mechanics of quantum physics.
I only read the first one with the laws of gravity, basically, with Einstein. And then it goes into quantum
gravity. Yeah.
And then it goes into quantum physics, and then it tells you all this. And basically, quantum physics is just everything and nothing at the same time, which is even hard to explain.
That's amazing.
It's really deep. It's really, really crazy.
That's crazy. So we're going to have life on Mars. It's going to be proven soon. Bullshit or belief?
Believe that there's definitely life out there. Believe that we're not going to find bullshit that we're going to find like an alien out there. Did you see this one article about aliens are using asteroids that are flying by Earth to spy on us, and they have little spy devices on it spying on us?
No,
that's what they, like a theory that they have.
No,
a lot of crazy people.
I like theories. There's one theory out there that birds aren't real, and it's actually the government spying on us.
Wow, that's a wild one.
There'd be a lot of spies.
That'd be a lot of spies. That's really
weird.
Weird.
Theories on this show. We go mild to wild, so we'll sample them from time to time.
Mild to wild. I think they're definitely going to find something. I don't know if it's really going to change much, but we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either.
2 years from now.
I'm saying believe. We're not prepared for the results, by the way.
What would happen? Do you think it's going to, like, everybody's going to go crazy?
Yeah, well, it's like, you never know. One day we could wake up and some shit hit the fan in a whole new way, and I feel like that's about to happen, because that's what's next, right? That's what's really next.
I think what's next is we slowly become our devices. Like we have a computer in here. I can record your conversation in my head, stuff like that, like Black Mirror kind of stuff.
Yeah, it all becomes
like,
one. It migrates.
Yeah, we all become one. It doesn't matter where you live in the world or the universe.
What if you don't have? What if it's like a third world country? Obviously, it's like 45% of the world doesn't have internet. What do they become?
I think it will take a few years for the devices to get cheap enough, and then they'll just implant them in everybody.
Yeah.
If you want. I would love to have like a little RFID thing inside of me, so like when I go near doors or my phone, it's automatically unlocked because it's just like built into me.
I would love that, and it would also prevent identity theft.
Maybe. I might even activate some more identity theft because people could just scan you and get all your information.
Hacking and identity theft on the rise, let me tell you.
On the rise. And changing address. That really needs to change. We should petition that.
That's a new one.
All right, let's do some food. Oh, where's the food news? Oh, God. I don't know where the food news, but there it is.
Here's what I found.
Say something about this.
Here's some news for food news.
Before you give us food news, I just want to make a comment. I was listening to a recent Validate Me podcast, and you are the one who always supplies food news on our show. However, it came out on Validate Me that you eat one meal a day.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes last week I ate one meal a day.
So you eat one meal a day, but you are the arbiter, the governor of food news, and it's like you're lying to the audience. You're acting like you like food, and you don't.
I love food, but last week I was trying to do a one meal a day, seeing if I could do it, and I did it. And it was not as hard as you think, but you definitely can't like do other things if you're doing one meal a day.
So you just stay home and read books about quantum physics?
Yeah, a lot of book reading, a lot of meditation, just like focusing on not eating, which is the hard part. And a lot of Topo Chicos, a lot of bubbly water. I love some Topo Chicos.
I like those.
So good. This food news is great. This is a dream job. Domino's Pizza is paying people $30 an hour to test their new Domino's garlic bread.
Oh my!
They posted this job.
So much.
They're paying this job. They posted this on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
it's such a deal. I would
That's
love
where all
to do
good
this.
Jobs go to die. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you believe in LinkedIn? I don't know. I think
never
okay.
go on.
Exactly.
I never go on LinkedIn. I don't know what's going on there.
Point made. Apparently, you can try cheesy bread there. It's a good idea.
I would definitely do it.
Is there only one position?
Yeah, it's also in Australia, so it's not even out here. But we might have Australian listeners, so I was just throwing it out there for everybody to tune in.
We might have Australian listeners. Do they not like cheesy bread there? Is it like a thing they don't like? Like, is it like liver and onions over here? Like, then you'd have to charge $30 to try it.
I don't know. I don't know what Domino's offerings are in Australia. I haven't had any pizza out there, but I could assume it's kind of. I've never been there. Have you?
Oh. Well, but you made it sound like I've never had pizza out there. Like you've been there.
Well, I haven't. I've never been there, and I've never had pizza out there.
Right. That makes sense.
That's it for food news. I don't know. I'm really excited for fall. My doors are open again. It's a great time of year for cozy, like hot, warm drinks, a little pumpkin spice. I'm really loving it.
I don't know what listeners you're talking to, but it's not the ones in Texas or Florida.
Is it still really hot there?
It's so hot. So again, I'll be in Atlanta this weekend. Shout out to our rich friend. We're going to hope to do like some together bonding with him and you and our mutual friend because of some things that occurred in Las Vegas over the summer. Long story. Hopefully tune in next week for more on that. But it's going to be 96 degrees when the Braves game begins at 4:30 on Friday afternoon.
That's so gross.
That does not feel like playoff baseball.
How playoff baseball started?
That's why I'm going to the Braves game.
Oh, so not to see our friend, our rich friend.
He doesn't listen, so I can say this. I only visit him when the Braves are playing playoff games. It's like, hey, I'll come visit. Oh, that's weird. They're playing this weekend.
That's good. All right, good. At least, yeah, good. Drink some of his really expensive
wine.
He's so rich.
We'll split every check, but he's rich.
Good show, Jeremy. Check out hangover.network. I don't know if Jeremy's doing his rankings on college football. I don't know if that's going to happen.
UCF won, so we're thinking about it again. If I can get one more UCF win this week, playing Friday night on ESPN against Cincinnati, I will bring the rankings back.
What about, could you just continue a top 5 list until UCF breaks into the top 5?
Oh, top 5's easy, but my top 5's the same as everyone else's. I just want to troll Florida by not ranking them in the top 20 or so.
okay.
That was my goal initially. It fizzled when UCF lost.
Follow us on Instagram at Hangover Network. Follow us on Twitter at TSH Podcast. And we're going to go rest of the reviews. Hopefully, we are back next week.